So hey y'all, it's TNT. We're back with the UCLA versus Howard, PWI versus HBCU video part 2. So my name's Tiara Thomas. I'm a third-year communications major at the University of California, Los Angeles, and
my name is Malcolm Thomas, and I'm a senior political science and economics major at Howard University.
Oh, just Howard University? Not the illustrious
I'm tired.
Howard University, HBCU. Okay, so we're here with a part 2 because obviously we've been at our schools for a longer time. We've had different experiences. We've had newer experiences. And I'm actually at Howard right now. This is Malcolm's dorm. We're in Malcolm's dorm. So I'm getting a first-hand experience of HBCU life, even though I've only been here for 2 days. And yeah, so definitely we have new perspectives on things, and we wanted to address some things we left out in the other video and actually address some of the comments from the other video. Should we start with the comments first? So to begin with, some of these comments, thank you to all of my subscribers who truly support me in everything I do. Thank you to everybody who gave their feedback about the last video. And shout out to the haters, because there was definitely a couple of y'all being pretty extra. And so like we said, we're not here to bash on anybody's school. Everything we have is our own opinion. You can take it with a grain of salt. Don't get butthurt over something we say. Literally, we're just talking about our personal experiences, hoping that we can help some of you out who are curious about either UCLA or Howard, or a PWI experience versus an HBCU experience.
The HBCU.
The HBCU. Okay, so the first comment we're gonna read says, I didn't like the way she classified Howard dorms as having roaches and rats. This girl is typically living in Uncle Tom's Cabin at night. I'm currently at Harvard, and my experience there isn't so pleasant as a Black American. Going to the PWI, institutions with smaller percentages of Blacks can be challenging. They expect for you to fail or request some form of assistance. Well, Howard graduated earned equivalent salaries, if not more, than UCLA graduates. Okay, so we're going to address that comment first, talking about the dorms, because we have both lived in different dorms and we both had different experience. First of all, I found it rude for you to say I live in Uncle Tom's Cabin, okay, because first of all, let's talk about housing in Westwood. So, housing in Westwood, aside from UCLA dorms, because first of all, if you go to UCLA, if you transfer into UCLA, not everybody's gonna stay in a dorm. So for the first time, I actually stayed in apartments in Westwood. I've stayed in both apartments that weren't owned by the university and apartments that were owned by the university. And it's a whole different story than the dorms. So first of all, I would say Westwood is hella overpriced. It's very expensive. Where I was staying, it was $2,100 for 1 bedroom. The water was coming out brown. There was roaches, there was bugs, and it was a very unpleasant experience. Now, UCLA dorms, the on-campus dorms, literally there's nothing I can complain about with them. They're like hotels. They're really nice. But not all housing at UCLA is like that. I've had both good and bad experiences, but it's not the way UCLA's res life works, which is residential life, is they try to make it as inclusive as possible. So at UCLA, I don't know if I mentioned this in the other video, but we do have an African diaspora floor, and our African Student Union is actually working for it to get put in better housing, so better dorms. And so it is an experience itself, and I wouldn't say don't call it Uncle Tom's Cabin. I honestly don't really understand that comment. I know very well what an Uncle Tom is, And it's just like, that's just extraness, it's ridiculousness. Because I decided to go to UCLA does not mean I'm living in Uncle Tom's Cabin. Like, I can be completely true to myself, completely true to my blackness, no matter where I live. That doesn't, where I stay and where I choose to go to school, it affects me as a person, but it doesn't change who I am, and it doesn't change my beliefs. So yeah, I wanted to address that. But as far as UCLA housing, it's like, on campus, it's good, it's great. University apartments, they're good, they're great. Anywhere else in Westwood, even though it's not completely affiliated with UCLA, but a lot of UCLA students still live there, it's a struggle. Like, everything isn't perfect. And I definitely learned that this past summer. Like, I was raving about the housing in UCLA, and there is some not so great living situations that you can be put in. So yeah, I wanted to put that out there. What about Howard dorms?
They're okay, they're great. I think generally, like, this is for, you know, laughs, it's for fun. Like, there's positives of going to both HBCU or PWI, and so, you know, I, like, of course, love my HBCU experience, but I think it's very counterproductive for us to be critical of those who don't go to a HBCU. Not all of us are able to do that. Sometimes you get more funding and go towards another school. And so just generally, this is not towards that comment, even though it applies to that comment specifically, but like, because someone, you know, says, oh, this was better for me, doesn't mean that they're like hating their blackness or that they're anti-black. There's plenty of, you know, people who love themselves and their race and want to uplift their race that go to PWIs. And so I just thought it was very reductive, to say the least, to say, oh, well, you know, you're critical of a situation at Howard, so that means that you are Uncle Tom, which was kind of implied by the comment. So yeah, just do better.
So you came in to Howard your freshman year living in Drew, right?
Yeah.
And now you're living in, this is called the Towers?
West Towers.
West Towers. So can you talk about the differences between those two dorms?
Okay, so well, Drew's a lot different than when I lived there. Let's talk about that. They were supposed to get air. I feel like I talked about it in the last video, but they got air now. We currently don't have air in this building, but we did at first. It's newly renovated, but there's just a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? They're still trying to get things together from the construction. Not everything is all the way together, right? But yeah, no, the towers are really nice. Like, they're super nice. I get my own room, you know. It's super new. It looks nice and whatnot. The elevators don't work all the time. Air is off right now, and it's like 80 degrees. And
you said that, you completely downplayed that. First of all, okay, so this is my HBCU experience so far. So I got here 2 days ago. Like Malcolm said, the elevators don't work. There's 10 stories on this building. I'm not trying to come back from a long day of whatever I was doing and have to walk up 10 flights to get to my dorm. And first of all, for the elevators, there's like how many elevators in this building? And for almost all of them not to be functioning, that's so problematic, because I'm just thinking about people who have handicap issues, like somebody with a broken leg or somebody who's paralyzed who's in a wheelchair, like,
yeah,
you know. And I'm like kind of sick right now, so I have like asthma issues, and I can't be walking up 7 flights like that and still have my breath. Like, and Malcolm, I guess he, you know, he's fit, like he can do it. But that was an out for me. Like, y'all's dorms, they're like nice, they're clean, they're not they're not dirty. Cause I heard that the dorms were dirty, so I was kind of like, ugh, cause I am like a clean freak. But these dorms, they're not dirty, like they are clean. That's a plus. It's not super clean, but it's livable clean. But the air. Let's talk about the air. So it's like 80 degrees outside. It is currently October, like it's homecoming weekend. It's like cool 80 degrees outside. So the first thing I do when I get in here, like, it hits me, because I'm like, dang, it's hotter in here than it is outside. Like, what's going on? Do y'all not have air? And he explains to me that they have air, but the building decided to shut off the air because winter is coming. if winter is coming and winter is not here yet, don't turn the air off. I don't know if the air is off for financial reasons or what, but be real about it. Like, why are we in here sweating when we're paying for this dorm? Like I don't know, you can see me like this a lot through this video. I don't know if you can see, but I am so like dramatic. No, I'm really sweating. Like, I'm sweating my edges out right now, and it's hard. Like, if you know the struggle of trying to do your makeup while you're sweating, you don't know what I'm talking about and why I'm irritated. And heat makes people irritable, so I don't want to say got all these angry black people in this building, but literally every time we've like seen somebody and we talk about how hot it is, they be like, girl, like, it's hot, and I feel you. Like, it is hot in here. And that's another thing, Howard is low-key petty, or Towers I should say is low-key petty, because like I said, it's homecoming weekend, there's a whole bunch of people here, and so I noticed they taped like all these green signs like outside. I'll insert like a clip if I can, and I'm like, what do these papers say? The papers say, no public restrooms, please don't ask. First of all, you have people coming to see your great university, and then you're denying people to use the bathroom, the chance to use the bathroom. And then Malcolm tells me they do have public restrooms. So who's lying? Like, and they have the signs everywhere, and I was like, that is so, like, that's just petty. Like, that is so petty. Like, but it was also kind of funny.
Okay, well, but yeah, we don't come from your school now.
Go ahead, come for it.
I think that's like the distinction that's always being made, is that, like, you know, we had crazy circumstances, but I'm gonna expose her because she came in. And
you said it's petty too.
Yeah, no, she came onto Howard's campus, like walking to like the entrance to the towers, and we saw all these beautiful black people about to go to the fashion show, and she's like, oh my gosh, I love everything about this school. It's just so great. It's just so beautiful. And that's one thing that you're not gonna get. You're gonna get a whole bunch of beautiful black people.
You won't get that at a PWI.
Love each other and that support each other to a certain extent. I'm not gonna glamorize it. I mean, everyone don't like each other because, you know, we're people. It's okay. That's something that is a given for us, not just because we're at HBCU, but because like a lot of people have lobbied, you know what I mean, and been active to try to make sure that we have a space for ourselves and that we're well taken care of. And of course, it's not exclusive. Like, you know, there's all types of people. Well, there's all different types of races living here and ethnicities, but that's something that, you know what I mean, that you're gonna get at Howard, is you're gonna get a bunch of beautiful black people together, and you're not gonna always get that at UCLA. And the dorms aren't that bad. I mean, we still alive, we still passing, we okay. It's not glamorous. Like I said,
you can live in it.
It's not glamorous, but you're not gonna get this experience anywhere else. And so, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I would definitely say, like, piggybacking off what she said, when I got here, it was the night of the fashion show, and when I say people did not come to play, like, literally everybody slay. Like, it was not a game. And I just got off, like, the plane, I'm looking like, dang, I need to change and get myself together quick, because everybody looked it beautiful, like, amazing. And at UCLA, it's like, you know, we be out here stunting, but I don't, like, if I walk onto campus, the first thing I see is not going to be a crowd of beautiful black people. Like, it's a crowd of beautiful Asian and white people, and then a sprinkle, like, of a few black people. But just to see, like, it was my first time being on a college campus where I just seen nothing but black people, and it was just like, it was an amazing experience. Like, it was really cool. And, like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm cool with going places and seeing everybody, but just to see, like, your own people thriving and just looking out, like, just looking so beautiful and just having each other's back, it's like, it's a win. Like, there's no experience like that. Like, you cannot get that at a PWI. Maybe the night of, like, the BSU or the ASU meeting, you know, you can see all of that, but other than that, like, that's not a daily experience you get at a PWI.
Oh, and that segues perfectly into the season that we're in right now, homecoming season, something that the PWIs could never do.
It's actually our homecoming.
But it could never compare, you know, it can't.
It doesn't.
It could never compare.
It does not compare.
And she came to Yard Fest. No one even cared about who was performing at the Yard Fest, but just everyone being together, having a good time, doing line dances, just doing the most. Like, you're not gonna get that anywhere else. And like, people come from all over the country. Like, people really change their life plans. I don't know if you guys seen the memes or whatnot, if you're in touch with Black Twitter. But like, people come from across the country. Like, they take off of work. They like, you know what I mean? If it was a family vacation, we gotta move it because I gotta go to the Howard homecoming. I gotta go to, you know, the Spellhouse homecoming. And yeah, that's something you're not gonna get anywhere else. And so there's definitely many pluses of coming to the HBCU, especially to Howard, because it's the best. No shade to Spelman, but you know, it is what it is.
Okay, so I'm gonna read the next comment I wanted to address. You wanna read it?
Okay. I gotta be dramatic because he seemed like he got.
You don't have to say about who it's by, just.
Of course not. The video is such a disappointment. Rather than debate the differences between an HBCU and PWI, I would have appreciated you all talking about why you chose the university you choose.
We did
and
talk
the
about
impact it had on your leadership development. Oh my God, I'm trying to sound smart goes wrong. I am a proud HBCU alum of Virginia State University who is prideful of my Florida State University. Shout out to Florida. Master's degree in University of Southern California doctoral degree. Oh, okay, we throwing credentials out. All of these experiences have shaped my life, but I would never disrespect any of the schools. Please do more research and don't fall into the trap of downing HBCUs. You are both too intelligent to take place in this slander.
The number one thing I want to say about that, keeping it real is not being disrespectful. If you get disrespected by somebody keeping it real, then you got to get some thicker skin, because that's what it is. It's like, I mean, maybe we can say it in a nicer way, but me personally, I don't think I'm rude at all. I don't try to be rude. If I come off rude, I mean, I apologize. But we're just keeping it real. We're not trying, like, I would never sit here and disrespect Howard. Disrespecting Howard is disrespecting myself. Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to talk about the differences. I'm going to talk about my personal opinion. I'm going to be real. If there's something I don't like, I'm going to keep it real with my viewers. Like, I'm going to let y'all know. But, like, we're not here to disrespect either of the universities. That's completely out. Like, no. I was considering going to Howard. Like, it's out. Like, I always joke around and be like, dang, I might transfer. Like, we're not here to disrespect any of the universities at all. But going off of what you said, I can't remember if we mentioned it in the last video, but Malcolm, tell us, why did you decide to attend Howard University?
Oh, I decided to attend Howard University because it gave me the most money. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
That's important, though.
That's an important consideration. Like, do not discount that. But I decided to come to Howard because, like, I came for accepted student stay. It's like something that everyone like goes to for the most part. And I just saw so many people doing what I wanted to do. I talked to a couple of students, and like they were talking about their internships and what they wanted to do in the future, and like the different courses that they were taking. How the professors are supportive of getting them to where they wanted to be, and like I saw myself in them, you know what I mean? I saw myself going where they were going, and I was like, you know what I mean? It makes logical sense for me to go here, and it's also funded, so why not? You know what I mean? And also, like, I mean, I never went to like a predominantly white school. Like, you know, our high school was pretty mixed, and like most of our educational experience was pretty mixed, but like it was also it was a really cool experience seeing like your blackness be affirmed. And so, you know, that's not something you get all the time, but it's something you could kind of get with the Black Student Union. You want to go into that?
Yeah. I'm gonna throw in, like, I'm not gonna go into detail of why I decided to go, why I decided to go to UCLA. If you want to check that video out, I have a whole nother video on it where I talk about everything. But basically, I originally had no intentions to go to UCLA. Like, I was gonna go to Clark Atlanta University. That was my dream school since the first grade. And like Malcolm said, I went to go visit UCLA for Admit weekend, and that's one of those things. It's like
it happens.
See y'all. Hold on, technical difficulties.
Oh, we back and we back.
We back and we better. Okay, so the camera almost fell. Oops. Look, the devil tried it, but he will not have the victory.
Listen, if the devil ain't coming for you, what you doing?
But anyways, what I was gonna say, if you have the opportunity, like, some people may be far away, some people may be across the country, but if you have the opportunity, if you're interested in the school, please do anything you can to try to visit that school before you attend it, before you commit to it. And that's one thing. I had the opportunity to visit UCLA before I decided to go to UCLA. If I did not visit UCLA, I would not have chosen UCLA. I had visited Clark.
Yeah.
But it's really important that you visit the school before you go, because it's like sometimes you can like, you'll step foot on the campus and be like, ooh, I can really see myself here. And then it could be like you step foot on the campus and be like, nope, it's a no for me, dog. Like,
I mean, you gotta be careful though.
Yeah, it's completely you.
Because it was just raining. Not that she wasn't feeling it.
It could just be that weekend. And even then, like during admit weekends, I don't want to say it's like, low key, take everything people do with a grain of salt, because they're putting on a show for you to want to come to the university. And like, you'll find some people that will keep it real. They'll tell you the pros and the cons of the university. But people who work at the university, they're gonna like do everything in their might to make you feel good and want to go to that school. But definitely like try to visit the school. And like I said, like if you can't afford it, or if there's like it's something you're struggling with, hit up the university's ASU or BSU, like personally for PWI. Our admit weekend at UCLA, we sponsor people who like are across country to come. Like we basically like we'll pay for your ticket, or like give a certain percentage. Like it's called a transportation scholarship that you can apply for, and you basically talk about how you can't afford to get there, but how you really want to visit the school and why you want to visit it. And then boom, like if you don't know, you don't. If you don't ask, you won't know. If not, you better watch all those YouTube videos. You watch those vlogs. You get on YouTube, because there's vloggers out, I'm pretty sure, on every college campuses. And that's how I felt like I know so much about Howard. It's because I shout out to Black Girls YouTube too, because like I watch so many Howard vloggers, and it's just like, dang, like I love Howard. So yeah, definitely try to check out the school before you, of course, like decide you're gonna commit to it.
I'll add that, like, at the end of the day, we all just trying to find a way to navigate in this white supremacist structure. You know what I mean? We're just trying to get to the next step. And so just do what you gotta do. Like, there's no shame in you going to a PWI. There's no shame in going to the school that gives you the most money, because that's a thing. That's not something that you really want all the time. And just, I mean, we can go into a lot, because I'm an econ major, and like black wealth gaps and all that type of stuff, and like what debt can do to you. But like, you know what I mean? Like, going to college is a really, really important thing, but like doing it in a way that's going to be best fit for you, that's going to be most beneficial for you, is a really, really important thing. And I always will stand for HBCUs. I think they're super cool. I think they're super important. But like, I'm not going to act like it's just going to be like your ticket to the other side. It's not. You know what I mean? College in general really won't be that. So you really got to play your cards right. You got to be like, okay, what am I trying to do? What career field am I trying to go into? And do what's best for you. No one's going to be mad at you for that. If someone says something to you, be like, are you paying my bills? Like, do what you got to do.
So I'm addressing that. A lot of people kept commenting on the last video, and saying that UCLA is not a PWI because the student body is mostly Asian. Okay, addressing that. So what is a PWI? A PWI is a predominantly white institution. And so what I mean personally when I say PWI is a university, when it was originally founded for white students by white people, with majority beyond the student body. If the majority of the faculty is white, if majority of the staff is white, that's a PWI. UCLA was 1919. Okay, if you look at the demographics from when UCLA was first open to where it is now, of course, you know, it's a little bit more diverse, you know, keyword, a little bit more diverse. So when I say predominantly white institution, I mean the institution was founded by white people, by the white man. So yes, I'm not in no way trying to say like majority of the students are white. You can look, like, the facts are there, you can look it up. Majority of the students are Asian, but UCLA will still be considered a predominantly white institution because of its history and because of its legacy, and a lot of the things, a lot of the things that are institutionalized in that university is white privilege, and there's a lot of oppression there.
Are we gonna be controversial?
Yeah, I told you, I'm gonna keep it real. Like, UCLA does a great job with equity and diversity. Shout out to Chancellor Jerry Kahn. Like, we really do make steps, but nowhere is perfect. Like, America is far from perfect. UCLA is not perfect as well, and there is, like, you can Look, there's been a lot of incidents, even like 2 years ago when I spoke about the blackface party. Stuff like, you're not going to have a blackface party at a HBCU, but you will have that at a PWI. Unfortunately, it happened at UCLA. It was created for white people by white people, and although it has changed, doesn't take away from that history, and that history still affects where we are today. So I just want to make that known. So some of these comments were wild.
Go to a wild one. Pull out a wild one, because the one
somebody said, I didn't even understand this one. Somebody said, "Coon to women, pro-black to men. I've never been to college. I got my own business and do not associate with whites. Your reality is what you make it. I believe in separation also."
Oh, that's like an ideology. She's on some. Oh, if you like work with white people or you're in a white space, it doesn't mean that you're a coon. Hold on, am I allowed to say that on camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, she said.
Yeah. I mean,
that comment, it seemed problematic to me. I mean, I do get what you're coming from. Because some people, you know, it's like Marcus Garvey. He was like, in order for us to be completely free, like, we have to be on our own. We have to be economically and financially independent. We got to go back to Africa. It could be one of those ideologies. I'm not putting you down for saying what you said, but as far as us living in America and where we are today and the mindset that I do have, I know a lot of people believe in separation. I'm not personally one of those people. I do believe in empowerment and encouragement of my own race, but and being in the reality of where I'm at, I did choose to go to a PWI, so it speaks for like what I'm trying to say, if that makes sense. I don't know if that was clear, but that was an interesting comment. Another one, somebody said, read this one.
Illustrious, you better
introduce your institution. That's another thing that I like, is like at HBCU, it's like the student body is prideful. Like, they're like, yes, like, you know, I'm at Howard. At UCLA, like, the black students, they like, we're prideful in our institution, but it's like our institution works against us in so many ways that it's hard for us to have that type of pride. We're gonna try to wrap this video up. So what's the last thing that we should talk about? People who are really think about somebody who's really like struggling to decide, like, should I go to UCLA or should I go to Howard, or should I go to an HBCU, and should I go to a PWI? What's some advice or like words you can give them to help like ease their decision?
Like, first of all, your blackness is not dependent on which institution that you go to.
Amen.
That's especially understanding how like oppression works and how we don't always have a choice to go where we need to go. And like, some people really can't afford to go. Like Spelman, I love Spelman, you know, I mean, much respect to Spelman, but they don't give out that many scholarships. Yeah, and it's very expensive to go there. Like, you can't tell people who are living in poverty, which a lot of black people, a large percentage of black people are living in poverty to this day because of multiple factors that we can discuss in another video. But like,
no, institutionalized racism, let's just keep it real.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I was about to go into the details, but we don't got time for all that. Now, if you go to like Howard or whatever HBCU you're going to, and you really like the atmosphere, you talk to some of the professors, you talk to other faculty members, you talk to other students, and you really liked what you were getting from it, and you felt that it would benefit you and where you're trying to go and in your fight for liberation of black people, if I'm assuming that's what you're trying to do, then go to the HBCU. If you go to you know what I mean, one of the PWIs, especially the UCs, the UCs have a strong tradition within the Black Studies department. And so if you see that there's a mentor, a faculty member that you know that you can could be your mentor and that you could work with and move you to the next level, and you have other resources there that are going to help you specifically where you're going to go, then there's nothing wrong with what you're going to do. I think really what it comes down to is the individual choice, and like what you individually need to from the institution and what you're going to bring to the institution. So if you've made it to this stage, congratulations to you.
Like, if you're even considering college, like, shout out to you, because you're beating the odds.
The system was designed against you. The testing was designed against you. The educational structure in most of the country is designed against you. And then you're dealing with all these, listen, I've been in schools for 2 years. So yeah, there's a lot that you have to overcome. And so just figure out how to best equip yourself so you can have the tools that you need, again, to be able to navigate, because white supremacy ain't going nowhere. We see who the president is. We see who's going on. I'm sorry, I'm getting real political. But like, you know, so that's what would always be my advice, is do what's actually best for you.
We always say do what's best for you, and then I remember when people used to say that to me, I'm like, but I don't know what's best for me, like, because I would really be, I'm a very indecisive person, and I really struggled like with choosing between Clark and UCLA at one point, because I was like, dang, and it's a hard decision. But when, like I said, visit the schools. But another thing is like, don't get caught up in trying to go to like an HBCU just for the culture. Just so when you leave class you can see all the beautiful chocolate people and all of that. Because it's like, at the end of the day, when you graduate, what are you gonna have? Your degree. Well, of course you're gonna have your experience as well, but your degree. So go to the school that is best in what you want to study, that is gonna like benefits you the most. Do what you think is gonna be best for you, and like take the time. If you're like a religious person or if you're spiritual, take the time to pray about it. Really do your research. Like, look into both of the schools. Try to visit both of the schools you're considering, and just really don't be afraid to change. Like, if you go to like UCLA, or if you go to like Howard or anywhere, and you're somewhere and you aren't comfortable where you are, get up and leave. Don't try to force yourself to go through 2 or 4 years at a university or an institution that you're not happy at, because life is too short. And I've gotten that so many times from people who do go to UCLA, and it's like, I just really wish I was at an HBCU. And I'm like, girl, what is stopping you from transferring? Like, don't stay for your friends. Like, leave for you. If you feel like you're gonna be happier somewhere else, if you feel like you're gonna thrive more somewhere else, don't be afraid to change. Like, we're humans. Like, we make mistakes at all. Like, I know if I've gotten to the point at UCLA, it's like, I can't breathe here anymore. Like, I can't survive here. I will catch on the next plane to Howard. Well, of course, I got to fill out all the paperwork and all the technicals of that. But like I said, the fact that watching this video that you're even considering college is like, it's already a win. So thank you for watching. We're gonna have a part 3 of this video. So with this video, if you want us to talk about something specific, drop it in the comments, and we'll do the part 3 at UCLA after he comes to visit me, so he can get a little taste of the PWI experience, and he can, you know, talk about that too. But yeah, thank y'all for all this support. Shout out to the Black scholars. Shout out to all scholars, but I want to give a special shout out to the Black scholars. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all. Please like, comment, and share this video with your friends, your homies. Subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Like, hit that subscribe button right now. Like, right now. Tell your friends to subscribe. Like, make sure y'all subscribe. Get this channel popping. Let me know what you want to see. And thank you again for all this support, y'all. And shout out to you. Give yourself a pat on the back, and just be true to yourself. Keep doing what you're doing, because you're out here being the best that you can be, and that's all that matters. So it's been TNT and Malcolm, the Malcolm. Yeah, and we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Mwah.